Hey folks, it's me, Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy of GroovyMusicLessons.com. Going to take you back in time, give you a part of a lesson that I had done, again, maybe 10 years ago. And people used to tune in back then to hear me drop F-bombs and not much more. So those new subscribers can actually learn something groovy here. This is showing you the basic blues chords that are used, meaning just 7th chords and 9th chords together and or separately, plus showing you the cool little hammer-ons that are used in the middle of the first major chord. Like say we're in the key of A, these are the 7th chords, okay? So those are all 7th chords. Now replacing the 4 and the 5 chord, the D and the E, with 9th chords sound real groovy compared to the 7th, I personally think. So if we have the basic A7 that we were still doing, follow it up with a 9th. Another 9th. Okay, so those are the things I'm going to teach you today. Mainly just the rhythm things and a couple odd little things for flavor. Okay, if that interests you, stick around. Okay, folks, glad you stuck around. Those that did. Those that didn't, you don't even know that you're not here, do you? Okay, I'm not here most of the time. Yeah, I checked out 5 minutes ago, so enjoy this without me. Today, using my Strat that my wife picked out all the parts for. It's a copper burst, and there you go. You can kind of see the sparkly little colors in that. Again, she picked out the pick guard, the pickup covers, the chicken head knobs, the matching back plate, and so forth, so on. I think she did a mighty fine job of coming up with this. Okay, so in the key of A, like I did at the intro of this, I'm just going to show you exactly what I was playing, because that's why you're here. I'll go ahead and toss a pick on while I'm doing this, since I know a lot of you aren't finger pickers. The finger picking is what I was doing at the beginning. I'll do a little bit of that just to show a variety, but not as much as with the pick. Okay, for those who don't know, the basic bar chord, I'll go through this quickly, in the key of A, is 1 finger all the way across the 5th fret, across all 6 strings. Just like tossing a capo on there, and then putting an E chord in front of it. So you just put your middle finger or your 2nd finger at the 3rd fret of the G string. We're popping the pinky at the 5th fret on the D string, and right above that we're popping our ring finger or 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Okay, so we have what should look like that. If you have it sounding like this, then you've got it right. Okay, That's as much time as we're spending on that. The big thing about this chord is that we're going to be using a lot of that finger taken off in the middle. Okay, doing some hammer-ons like that. Hammer-ons and pull-offs. Those are when you actually take a note and actually hammer your finger onto the fretboard. So the one here on the G string at the 6th fret will be going. So you're going to play it once and then put the note down there on that 6th fret. Okay, so if we were to play the whole chord and then actually flatten out our 3rd finger, our ring finger, across the 7th fret, across the D, G, and B string. Okay, so down, play just a few notes. Okay, so the low strings and however many you want to do. If you want to do all 6, fine. We're going to play 2 or 3 notes that we're actually barring here. And again, it's just the 3 strings, the D, G, and B strings. Then back to the bar without anything else. And then we're going to hammer on that G string 6th fret. So we're concentrating on hitting with the pick the middle notes or the middle strings. To get that really groovy sound, we can go all day on that. It's hammer on and then pull off. You can actually pull off by taking the finger, not just taking it off, but you pull off and you actually pick it just like you were picking with the other hand. So that each note is loud as the previous note. Okay, now if you actually do dig that, it gets better. Okay, those are the 2 ways you can do it. Okay, I'm just sliding up from the 3rd fret up to the 5th. Okay, that's how we get that. Now, if you want to add the little flutter, you can go back and forth like that and split the difference between and. Okay, a little bit of that one goes a long way. Okay, the thing that makes this a 7th chord, number one, we're actually hitting a 7th chord when we do this because the other A note, which would be at the D string 7th fret, is taken off at this point. So you've got a C note, I'm sorry, a G note there instead of an A. But that's not the part that makes it cool. So when you get back to the A, okay, and we take our pinky or our forefinger, put it all the way up here at the 8th fret on the B string. Okay, so that's what makes that cool. So you have, so you're doing the hammer on, high E, then grab a string or 2, whatever rings through, when you've got that 8th fret pinky. Get rid of it real quick and pick up and upwards, hit the E and B string. Okay, that sounds really cool like that. And then follow it up with the 7th by doing the exact same thing but not doing the upstroke. So okay, that's one way of getting that cool thing. And again, having that third finger down there. Like that. Okay, so we have everything that we've learned so far tossed into that there salad. If we're playing with our fingers, we get which I think is cooler, but whatever level you're at, or if you can play fingerstyle or not, doesn't matter at this point. It's getting all these variations to happen for you. Okay, so after we do that, the variation I'm talking about in here that we can also add is one that comes in. Okay, that one's cool. That one happens like this. You're on the G string and B string only. Okay, until the very end when we do the same thing. Okay, so it goes up to the 8th fret. G, again, G and B string only. Slide it down. You don't pick it again. You pull it off. Okay, so pull off both strings. Back to 7. Then back to our good old hammer on. Okay. So that can be put in there anywhere. Here's where I would normally do it. Okay, again. You can almost hear the high E string. Kind of sounds cool under there. If you like it, toss it in. There's nothing out of key if you do add the high E string with this bar thing. You might even really dig that. Okay, so there's the basis of that stuff. Again, you don't have to do the slide into there. You do whatever your little heart desires. Going on with the 7th chords, we're going to go ahead and grab a C chord and move it up 2 frets. Okay, that's where we're going to start this thing, but you'll find something that sounds horrible. Right there it is, the G string. Okay, so we're going to take our pinky and put it right there. It's going to make a 7th, because up at the 7th fret, it would be a D. That would be fine, but we're going to make a D chord, actually a D7, by taking that D note, bringing it back to a C. So we have what looks like a C chord moved up to the D, add our pinky to the 5th fret of the G string. So everything except for the low E string. It's whatever you want to do in there, but keep it in rhythm. So is your 7th. That's the most important deal going on here. You need a root with it. Might hear a song there. Okay, so any of the strings will work except for the low E string. Okay. I like to hit the root twice, the B up and the G up. To make sure I get those in there. If I'm finger picking, I really like to stick the E in there. Okay, with you guys with the picks. Doing what's called a rake, all 6 strings going down, or all 5 strings. But make sure you get that G string in there. Okay, so that's your 7th chord, your D7. When you get to your E, we'll make it a 7th as well. Just take exactly that chord, pinky and all, move it up 2 more frets. So everything starts at the 7th fret. So okay, see how that works? Okay, so all together, adding everything that I've shown you in here, but with the pick. Okay, so that's the very basic part of this. What also sounds really groovy is to go up from E 7th going up 1 fret up to the F7. Okay, even if the rest of the band or whatever you have going on would normally go to the C7 or just the C, what have you, it's cool to go up to the F and it doesn't screw anything up. Okay, so you got here we go. What I did there at the end was switching chords quickly, like a lot of the blues stuff does. Again, at the end, so from the E7 up to the F7. So we don't do the slide up. Okay, we just a lot of blues tunes will go right to that 4 chord or the D7. Then back to the 1 or the home plate. Then to the 4. Then like this. That That's sliding up to the E7 and then back to where you were. And then okay, so that's real basic stuff there, but the basis of blues and where country would start to come in. Shortly you would have Merle Haggard coming in. Same thing, just finger picking and doing the working man blues. Says blues right in the title, so there you go. Okay. Alrighty, now we're going to switch over and do the ninth chords. These are very cool, as you heard in the intro. They're very, very, very close to the seventh. If you look at it very closely, the only thing that's happening is we're barring a finger. It's like just taking your pinky and barring it down, but that is uncomfortable. Okay, so we reconfigure. We go with the second finger on the A string, 5th fret. Take our first finger at the 4th fret on the D string, and then we just take our third finger, our ring finger, and we put it over top of the G, B, and E at the 5th fret. So we get, okay, make sure that D string rings through. So work on that as long as you have to till that all 5 strings ring through really well. Okay, now the only thing that happens here is that just replaces the D7. Now we just use a D9 here. Okay, so we play it along with. See how the different flavor there. Okay, notice I slid it up from 1 fret behind. I like doing the rake as it's sliding. Okay, going up to that E9. And so we know that from the previous demonstration that the D9 is here, and then we're just going to move it up 2 frets for the E9, and that we could do the same thing by taking it up to the F9 if we want. So okay, so it's just the 9th chord taking the place of the 7th. So it's just a matter of getting the 9th chord in your brain and in your fingers, finger memory, muscle memory, to make those happen. Otherwise, everything's played the same. You'll notice I did. Okay, the D string is not real important there. It's all about the first 3 that right there. Okay? That's kind of a cool thing. I just like that phrasing. Then okay, so that's the basics of that. What I did before, a lot of you already know, and that's just the, which is skipping the B string. You've got on the G string and the high E string, you're looking at 9, 8, 7, then 6 and 5. And then the other chord I played was a 7th, which is G string 9, B string 8, high E string 9, and then slide into it. So that's an A7. So after the over. Depends on what you're doing. If you want to take it down to 4, 3, and 4, that is if you're going to E. So you'd be like a, okay, so if you want to do the E at the end, you'd do that down here at 4, 3, and 4. And back up to the A. Okay, so there's your basic blues stuff. There are other things to play, of course, but wanted to get you the basics in here. Hope you dug them, and once again, dig the Mrs. guitar, and have fun playing this, okay? Later, kids.